I got thinking about some of these fees, and I jotted these things down and mailed them to you. If anybody want to see what I jotted down, there they are. First thing was the application fee, and granted, these, most of these fees will be determined by the township board, but I feel as though we can put some input into it. Looking at the application and looking at what the stuff we've put in our ordinance so far for the application is, I'm saying that we're looking at probably at least 4 meetings, anywhere from 2 to 4 meetings. So I just put down there 4 times the PC or planning commission. And this would be per windmill, okay?
All these correct?
All these first 3 would be per windmill. The second thing that I looked at is a fee that would be called the township wind energy fee, and that would be, my suggestion is $400,000, and that would be payable over 20 years, and any personal property tax that they would pay would go towards that, approximately $20,000 a year fee. I kind of looked at that sheet that we got from you guys that looked at the difference between Ogden and Riga and Palmyra. This would have to be, you know, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not smart enough to determine how this would be worded. This would be worded by a lawyer. And this again would be per windmill. The third thing is the residential impact fee. That would be to any non-participating resident within a half mile of a wind turbine. It would not affect their ability to complain about wind, light, sound, or anything else if they were participating. This, and then it would be a 3%, if you guys want to see this, it would be a 3%. You guys have copies of this. This was given to me by, this was given to me by you guys too. 3% per year increase. The other thing would be versus, would be more per company, so to speak. An annual report fee, a complaint resolution board fee, and I've got a little bit more information on that. I'll get into that in a minute. And I did forget putting this site plan fee, that would be per windmill, that would go back up towards the top. I did get an email from Gary Bice, and he felt that it needed to be at least $300. Again, this is going to be set, some of this is going to be set by the township board, but we can suggest at least $300 plus whatever expense the planning commission would have as far as being involved in the site plan itself, say, the wind turbines.
Would we have a separate schedule for personnel? Personnel, because.
Yeah, we'd probably have a schedule for.
That's awful steep.
Right, yeah. This is, wind energy facility is a lot different than a, what's the acronym of it? Personal, yeah, personal.
So just to clarify, this 4 times PC expense, do you mean 4 times the expenses, or do you mean the cost for 4 meetings?
4 meetings.
4 meetings.
And, and probably, the township board is the kind of board that I've seen them give people's money back before. And if we didn't use, all that, we'd probably give it back.
I wasn't complaining, I was just wanting to clarify what the 4X meant.
Yeah, 4 times. We're thinking it's gonna take maybe 4 meetings, I don't know, to go over all this stuff.
4 meetings would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. For the application, I understand. Yes, for the application. So anyway, that's what we're looking at.
So you're requesting we get back to you with some comments on these?
Sure. I don't think we're gonna vote on that tonight. The last thing that I've got in your stack is this complaint resolution. Oh, you're right. Here it is. Anybody want to see this?
A couple copies.
Jim, what, can you clarify number 3, and I apologize, I was out talking to solicitors.
Residential impact fee.
Who's that payable to?
That's payable to non-participating person who lives within a half mile.
So you're saying that under the ordinance, you're suggesting that we would be required to pay all folks within a half mile?
Wasn't that in the paper?
We've offered to do that, but that's only to people that are willing to sign on to the project.
Only to give them the right to talk.
I'm saying we can't give up on that.
Well, you're saying they still have the option of a complaint.
Right.
We don't say that people can't complain.
Right. There's a distinction in there, right? I
Yeah.
agree with
We didn't
They
want,
still have the right
we
to
don't want them to
complain,
give
but-
up their rights, you know. We don't want them to give up their rights. If there's any, I don't know, I don't know what this non-participating lease agreement looks like,
He won't let us see it.
but it doesn't make any difference what it looks like. We feel as though that if they, we haven't made up our minds yet. I feel as though that if they live within a half mile of a turbine, and you've offered this money, this payment, that no matter what, they shouldn't give up their rights to complain.
That's fine. But that's different than not having to sign any kind of agreement with the developer.
Right, well, I don't know how to word it. but
Okay, we'll think of it.
Yeah, hopefully a lawyer can figure out how to word it.
Well, you're going to respond to comments too about what we are projecting costs, and so that would be a second.
And was there just, I don't know, you may have covered it earlier, was there a theoretical sort of a basis for the 400 grand?
It came from the projected tax return over 20 years. This one, we'll provide a clarification on that one too. Obviously, there's a lot of detail. It's embedded in that number too.
I looked at that, I looked at what, I looked at that sheet of paper, we had that long sheet of paper, and it had all those tax things on it.
Right.
And Palmyra was at the lowest, Ogden, I believe, was at the highest, and Riga was in the middle.
It's got to do with your lack of a road.
Right,
village.
and this is putting us up there, we're not quite as high as, it was
He's
about
finding
400.
another way to get his road tax.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as high as Ogden, but it was almost as high as Riga.
Just wondering where it came from, that's fine.
And this also protects us if the personal property tax is eliminated. In fact, I would love it if the personal property tax would be eliminated, because all the tax money would come to the township instead of 85% of it going to ISD and the county. It would all come to Palmyra Township.
You mean the $400,000, but you don't mean any taxes would actually, you're saying the fee would stay
Yeah,
here.
The fee would stay here. If they eliminate the property taxes, the fee, or the personal property tax, fee would stay here.
Mhm.
That's my idea of how to protect us if personal property tax is eliminated. Okay. John,
Can I interject real quick on that note? You're looking for protection in the event that personal property tax is eliminated. The Huron County Commission, their county commissioners have proposed a plan to put all wind projects on hold until the state resolves that issue. And that's one way to make sure you definitely get protection.
well, I'm in it for the money.
So are they.
Like I say, I just, I'm from a business, I have a business. I don't like paying personal property tax. I hope they eliminate it.
I don't like paying you either.
Okay. I don't think you paid me anything.
Oh, no? Can't get out. This
Complaint resolution thing here, I want us to kind of look it over. John sent it to me, and he had a good idea, is that instead of maybe putting a lot of stuff in the ordinance, as far as if you do this, this is going to happen. If you do this, that's going to happen. If whatever, is if we established a committee that consisted of maybe 5 people, 2 from the wind energy company, and 1 from the planning commission, 1 from the township board, and 1 citizen. And then they would be charged with coming up with their own, so to speak, policies as far as what they felt was fair to the citizens and or the wind energy as far as complaints and complaints process. That it could be more flexible this way, because if we put something in the ordinance that says if you do A, then B happens, and the only way we can fix that is to change the ordinance, and that takes a lot of work sometimes. Whereas if we give them the power to develop policies, those policies can be more flexible and can be more adaptable to the each situation, or the situation that we don't even know is going to happen. And we can give this committee power to turn the windmills off, and then they can decide what the process would be. And, so anyway, that is something that I was thinking about, and this is I think this here is a pretty good start, but this is kind of what they made, I believe, for Huron County, wasn't it? Your complaint resolution? So,
think getting input from those representatives would be a good thing. I mean, everybody has a vote in framing how we would want to resolve the project.
Do you like the idea of giving up some of that power to a committee?
Well, I guess I'm thinking input, and then we have to make some decisions with the right to edit and, you know, make sure that it's fair and equitable.
Right.
Well, the committee still would have to submit it
Yeah.
to the board, right?
Probably have to submit the township board.
Exactly, just like we have to do.
Right.
Yeah, committee would be fine.
What do you think, Dale?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
So should we kind of come up with some different language for this complaint section? And have that for next month?